peace, and blessings. This is Jovhannah, the spiritual love healer, and I want to talk to you about honesty and trust. So over the past few weeks, I've been sharing videos with tips, resources, tools, and practices to really help you tune into the frequency of love. And one of the things that I want to talk about is trust. A lot of times we have issues trusting people. I get a lot of questions, well, how do I trust, and things like that. And trust is one of those things where it's kind of twofold, but I really want to focus on you and how you're showing up. What do you believe? Are you being honest? Because that really relates to trust. A lot of times when we have issues trusting people, it's because we're not trusting ourselves. And so that could be for a few reasons. One, you could be just a trifling person. Two, it could be that you are afraid of making the same mistakes that you have made before, so you're not trusting yourself. And because you're so afraid that you might miss the red flags, that you might fall into some old habits or patterns, you're like, I can't trust this person. They might hurt me. Well, they did this, and what does this mean? Well, they said that, well, what does that mean? And so you go into this old habit of questioning everything because you're not able to trust yourself in a relationship. Now, it doesn't always mean cheating, but trusting yourself that you know your heart. You know what's good for you. You know what to do when shit goes left. You know what to do when things keep going great and it continues to grow, bud, and develop. Part of that can also be a little bit of self-sabotage. If you've been in a lot of crappy relationships or on bad dates or whatever, and all of a sudden you just meet someone and everything is pretty good, it's really nice, and you're like, but wait, this can't be right. Something's got to be wrong. I don't trust this. Why? Allow yourself to trust. And in order to do that, that starts with you being honest with yourself, being honest about the things that you've experienced in the past. And I'm not saying that it's about placing blame, it's just being honest, right? This happened. Well, why did it happen? What was my part in the happening of it? What was my part in the solving of it? What can I learn from this to prevent this or to re-experience this in a new way? So it's really about getting clear on who you are, what you believe, and when you get to a deep place of honesty about yourself, about your past, about your relationships, about the things that you want, then you have a solid foundation for trust. You know that you are rock solid in what you want. You know that you are rock solid when you say, I'm ready to meet my soulmate. I want to, meet my husband. I want to have a family. I want to be in a committed relationship. You know that, right? So now you can trust yourself enough to know that when somebody comes to you with something totally outside of the expectations and desires that you set for yourself, you're like, oh, no, that's not what I want. So really, trust is about you. It's about honoring yourself, being honest with yourself. And a lot of times we're not honest with ourselves because we place blame. We like, what? Well, they did that to me. Well, he cheated, so it wasn't my fault. But when you get to a place where you can completely be open and honest and vulnerable with yourself, when you can stand in the mirror and look yourself in the eye and say, I did this, I did that, this was my experience, this is where I messed up at. You know what? I wasn't honest right then, or I could have done better. But that's okay, because now that you're having this dialogue with yourself, you're opening the door to something different. And it starts with you getting honest and open with you. Pull the skeletons out of your closet. And if it's not something that you want to do on your own, you can work with a coach like myself, a therapist, someone who is skilled in supporting you in that area. And I say someone who is skilled because a lot of times people are running to their friends for relationship advice. And that's really not the move. unless your friend is in the type of relationship that you want, like if they have something good going on and they can speak from a place of wisdom and not out of a place of pain or a place of envy or a place of jealousy, then yes, you can go to that friend for advice. But if you continue to turn to other people who are hurting or struggling for help, you might not get the help that you need to really work through the challenges that you're facing. So, and that's another thing I really want to impress upon people. It's important to invest in your personal development, in your spiritual development, in your healing. You have to start getting the help that you need if you want to see change in your life. And I'll probably talk more about that later, but I think that's very important. Like, we keep running to the same circles, right? Our friends for this and our friends for that, and we're all stuck in the same pot, cooking in the hot water. But you want something different, but you keep going to people who got the same thing that you got, and you're not really getting any different, because where's the new infusion of ideas? Where's the healing that's taking place? Where's the transformation occurring if everybody's doing the same thing and getting the same result? So it's really important that you really start to get the support that you need so that you can make these changes and transformations. I did a lot of my healing work on my own, and it was hard. And I'm really grateful that I was able to do that, but a lot of people don't have that ability to do deep inner work on their own. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying, like, I had to do it on my own because there was not support available. We weren't talking about, energy work and all of these different things. We definitely weren't talking about therapy and mental health. So a lot of the work that I had to do it alone. And this is why I created this space and this platform and this business, because it's my mission to really help others. So I just went off on a tangent there, but I hope that you can see how passionate I am about this, because everything in our relationship starts with self. The most important relationship that you have is the one that you have with yourself. And every other relationship in your life is a mirror of that in some way. So really start to get to a place where you are able to trust yourself wholly, fully, completely, 100%. You are down for you. That way, you won't betray yourself for anyone else. That way you don't get sidetracked from the things that you set out to do for yourself. It's very important that, when you have trust of self, you have confidence in yourself, and that translates into your relationships with other people. So I really want you to sit and think about trust. Like, do you trust you? And if you're not sure, just sit and think about it some more. But really think about, are you fully trusting yourself? And have you even ever thought about trusting yourself? And like, what does that look like? What does that mean to you? And really dig deeper into it, because often, like, people don't really talk about self-trust. They worry about, like, can I put my trust in you? I trusted this person and they hurt me. A lot of things when it comes to relationships are always external of us. And that does us a great disservice, because again, your most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. So really examine where you are with trust in your life, and feel free to share your insights with me inside the Spiritual Love Circle. I'll include the link below. And if you want more of me and spiritual love, head over to thespirituallovehealer.com. Peace.